Hey Addicts, welcome back. We're here to talk about Mob episode 8. And man, did this episode really hit a lot of beats. And some of them are very funny and lighthearted, and then some are very sad and depressing. Unfortunately, it leaves you kind of depressed. But we're here to talk about it. Overall, it was a really good episode. So just, highlighting the main points of the episode, we get to see that Mob is at the school. And there's a marathon that's happens like every year at the school that Mob has had a plan to use as a way to, I guess, impress the girl that he has a crush on. And his plans kind of get, kicked into overdrive when this girl that is like the reporter that's been following him since like the first season confronts him and has a conversation and leads him to realize that he needs to turn up his timetable if it's going to work. And so we get to see that he's going to other people to try to get advice on like how to best benefit from the short amount of time that he has to improve. And then we also get to see him back at the psychic. My mind's blanking right now. His part-time job. And Rajan, one of the things I love about this episode is we get a lot of payoffs with characters. Rajan being one instance, we've had this development with him in the past couple episodes of him being a better person and having a better relationship with Mob. And this is like the payoff for that. Definitely seeing that, Rajan has completely turned into a bro for him. Sidelining all of his other busy schedule appointments that have been made to not only give Mob time off, but to also help him improve for this marathon, since he knows it's pretty important to him. But the last part of the episode, we get to see the actual marathon, and Mob doesn't quite get to the point that he wanted to, but he's still able to finish, and that's a good highlight, and it's a good win for Mob in this. And his brother even competes in there and finishes as well. And one thing I didn't mention, we get to see, I don't want to say they're a highlight, but we do get to see more of Mob's parents, especially with them being there at the marathon. And Mob, because of what happened to the marathon, he's kind of detained a little bit at school. So his brother and his parents get back to their house earlier, and his parents are getting dinner ready, and somebody comes to the door. So Ritsu answers it, and lo and behold, it is the kid that we saw associated with the evil organization that was in the first season, the one that didn't fight at all, at least not to them. And he's got some sinister stuff planned, and Ritsu knows it, but unfortunately he's not able to quite react fast enough, which leads to Mob walking home and seeing some smoke in the distance. And when he gets there, he sees his house is on fire. And the sight that he sees laid before him inside his house is one that sets him over the edge and probably, I would say, puts him in probably the darkest explosion of his percentage bar that we've seen. And that's how the episode ends. It's a very cliffhangery episode. And it's also one that it's like, man, it hits you in the gut at the very end. But this episode, like I said, if I have said it before, is probably my favorite. Sorry, I just can't talk. I'm an emotional train wreck here. This episode is by far my favorite out of the season, at least so far, just because of the interactions we get with the other characters. We get to see some characters that we haven't seen since the first season, really, like the blonde-haired kid. We got to see he's actually helping out at the part-time work in this episode, so I like that. We get more of him. We also get, like I said, the payoff of Rajan and Dimple, and I think those two are probably one of the things that I love most about the episode, especially when Rajan shows up to help Mob finish in like the end half of the marathon. We even get a part where Dimple and Rajan are like going back and forth, and Dimple like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't try to cheat, and he's like, I thought about it, but we're gonna do it the right way for Mob. And so, just those little things I really did appreciate. And then also, obviously the ending has a big factor of it too, because it's going to be a huge turning point for, what the season is, focusing actually on the main villain now. And I'm really excited to see where it's going to go, because, we've seen, his brother put in danger before and Mob having to react, but nothing this severe, I think. And so I'm really curious to see what direction Mob takes, if he's going to start spiraling out of control or not. And I think it's a good possibility. At least, the next episode we'll see him in a very dark place. But I guess we'll just have to wait. And for the next episode, the little preview that we did get has everybody back together, or seemingly back together. We have Ragin, the blonde-haired kid, Dimple, and Mob all together to go up against the organization, or at least try to find them, because we do see glimpses of the organization, which it looks like we got some new players in there that we didn't see in the last season, so looking forward to see who all else they have, if this is a different division that moved over, or if these are just people that were there always, but just now in the spotlight now. So I'm going to shut up because Michael's not here to give his opinion, and I don't have much more to say. And because I'm such a mushmouth beforehand, I might as well just shut up before you can't understand anything else I say. So that will conclude this video over this episode. We look forward to the next one, and let us know what you guys thought of the episode, and if you're liking the direction they're going in. I kind of feel that his family is possibly still alive. At least his brother might be still alive, but that may just be wishful thinking, but I could see them pulling that twist out. Although would I like to see that? Kind of, because I think his brother's cool, but do we need it? No, I think it's all right if we get this motivation. But let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next time. Later, Addicts.